Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Australia Day 2016. My name is Susan Wade and I'm this morning's MC. I would like to acknowledge that we gather today on Wiradjuri land and acknowledge those present from the Wiradjuri Nation and from other Aboriginal nations. I'd also like to acknowledge people from the many other countries and cultures that are here with us today. To start today's ceremony, I would like you all to be upstanding and join in the singing of the national anthem while the Aboriginal and Australian flags will be raised. This morning's anthem will be performed by Holly Carlo from St John's College, who will be accompanied by the Dubbo and District Concert Band.
Rajari go nurbango rajari mangadang nindugi yeni yanaye yanana nina yanana nina yanana nina marmang muda wanangana wanangana marmbang wanangana yanana ngina yanana ngina yanana ngina marmbang mil ngana ngana marmbang ngana yanana ngina yanana ngina yanana ngina marmbangan yala yala marmbang yala wanangana wanangana marmbang wanangana. Ladies and gentlemen, also I welcome you to Wiradjuri country. Wiradjuri people are glad that you're here. I've also sung a part of a women's song that when people come in a big gathering like this, to come and go. So yanana means come and go. Come and go and hear good things, see good things, and come and go talking about good things. Also to share and gain knowledge through looking and listening to one another. It's a fantastic day. I'm glad we got good weather. I'd also like to ask people if they could stand for a minute's silence out of respect for elders, both past and present. And I'm talking about everybody's elders, not just our own. Thank you. Thank you. It's always good to acknowledge our elders and where we've gained our knowledge and our historical stuff from and our history. Thank you. I'd now like to hand over to Uncle Rod Towney. He's also a councillor on Dubbo City Council, to say some words for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Di. For Aboriginal Australians, it is a day to reflect. Today is the day to reflect on the experience of our ancestors, and it is a day to celebrate our culture and identity, and to feel incredibly proud of our survival and continued struggle for equality and recognition. It is also a time to commemorate the actions of those who have gone before us. The day is not only dedicated to acknowledge the past, but also in reinforcing the present and the future of Aboriginal peoples. 26th of January is just not another day, as Australia is where our ancestors have walked for over 80,000 years. We do this together and we are happy to be here. walking with you people today, together as a whole community. Thank you.
I was asked to talk a little bit about Dubbo. Okay, so this is oral history from my father. The word Dubbo or Dubbo, when they were building Dubbo, there was a man, some people that built old Dubbo House, and it was made out of our red ochre. So he built the red ochre bricks and he put the walls up, and our people were pointing to it and they were going, Dubbo, Dubbo, Dubbo. And people thought they meant the red earth or the red soil that they were making the bricks out of. But what they were saying was it hasn't got its ceremonial cap on, because the red ochre actually marks the law for our people. And the Dubbo is the ceremonial cap worn by our women. So when their husband passes away, they get the red ochre, they wrap it around their head, and it marks the law that no man is to come near that woman until she's ready to start a relationship again. So the word Dubbo or Dubbo is named after that ceremonial headdress worn by the women. Where we're sitting now, there's a street over here called Winjiwarra Street. Winjiwarra means place of lots of water or swamp country. So Dubbo was originally from the riverbank all the way back, it was swamp country. And this is where the Dubbogar, the law fellas sat. So the red ochre marks our law. So our law people sat in this part of the country and run the law from all the way out this side of Gilgandra, this side of Warren, this side of Ningan, all the way around was our clan country of the Dubbogar mob. So it's just amazing now that you see the courthouse, the council chambers, the police station, where they're still holding the law today. Down at the library you'll see a big tree on the side of it. That's called our tree of knowledge, where our old fellas sat to discuss who was going to get taught what knowledge was going to be passed on. And today that's where the library stands. So that knowledge is still being passed on through the books and through people going in there passing on information. So I just wanted you to know a little bit of history and knowledge about Dubbo in the country that you're settling in. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Auntie Di and Uncle Rod. I would now like to introduce the members of the official party seated here this morning. We have the Mayor of the City of Dubbo, Councillor Matthew Dickerson and his wife Katrina, Councillors Greg Moore, Greg Matthews, Kevin Parker, Ben Shields, Alan Smith, John Walcombe and their families. We have the Acting General Manager of Dubbo City Council, David Dwyer, Dubbo Australia Day Ambassador Mr Peter Hadfield and his wife Marilyn, the Wiradjuri Elders Auntie Di Riley McNabo and her husband Michael and Uncle Rod Towney, Chief Superintendent Neil Harris from Fire and Rescue New South Wales, Chief Superintendent John Stonestreet from New South Wales Ambulance, Commissioner Mark Gibson from New South Wales VRA. We have the members of the Australia Day Committee, Jeff Mann, Kathy Fernie, Cynthia Foley and Derek Edwards, the Australia Day Award recipients, candidates for citizenship. So welcome everybody. I would now like to call on the Mayor of the City of Dubbo, Councillor Matthew Dickerson, to officially welcome you to Australia Day 2016.
I'd certainly like to welcome everyone from the official party. I'd like to welcome all the people that are going to become citizens today. A very, very exciting day for those people. 24 people will have joining us as Aussies today. And of course, welcome to everyone here today. Thank you for coming along to Australia Day 2016. And I'd like to make special mention, I love Di's Welcome to Country. Thank you, Di, for that wonderful Welcome to Country. It is significant, I think, to see an Aboriginal Welcome to Country on Australia Day. And I think that it's a significant component for Di and Uncle Rod. Actually, I joined council with Rod in 2004 and he wasn't an uncle then, so I'm not sure when he became an uncle. It might be a sign he's getting a little bit older. But it's a great honour to serve with Rod, having served with Rod for the last 12 years and to understand some of the background from an Aboriginal perspective. So it is significant and I thank you both. And I'd like to also acknowledge that we are all gathering here on traditional Wiradjuri nation. Well, Australia Day is obviously a fantastic day and a day that we can all relax and just really think about and celebrate what is absolutely fantastic about Australia Day. And this year I'm going to do something just a tad different, because this year, as part of our Australia Day, we're doing something we've never done before. We've traditionally given out citizenship and sportsmanship awards to a number of people who have made significant contributions in the Dubbo community. And this year, as a reflection of the fact that we've become more culturally aware in Dubbo and we've gained more cultural facilities, this year we're giving out for the first time ever the Cultural Person of the Year award, and that's a new award we've introduced. So I thought I'd try and jump onto the cultural concept, and I thought instead of a mayoral address this year, I'd do an Australia Day mayoral poem. So bear with me while we experiment with this idea. The poem is simply called I Love Australia. I love this land, Australia, in, oh, so many ways. The pristine beaches, clear blue sky and endless sunny days. The beauty of the Great Barrier Reef, the size of Uluru. Relax on Fraser Island or marvel at Kakadu. But most of all, I love the people that she calls her own. The lucky ones, so fortunate to call Australia home. I love the way we're all embraced, no matter where we're from. Whether we're Kiwi, Scot, South African, Indian or Pom. I love our laid-back attitude when no one is too uptight. Our optimistic outlook of, no worries, she'll be right. I love the way we'd rather say g'day than say hello. The way we give a mate a nickname just by adding O. The way we love to have a crack and punch above our weight and stick tight to the golden rule of always help our mate. I love our sense of humour, the dryness of our wit, and the brave young men who went to war just to do their bit. The way we know the Don's average, the way we love Merv Hughes, the way we'll back an outsider and not care if we lose. I love how we do deeds expecting nothing in return. I love how much we care about those ashes in that urn. The way we worship Bernie when he hasn't played for years. The way we have our friends around for barbies and for beers. The way when things are going bad, we say, it could be worse. The way that no one knows our national anthem's second verse. I love the passion of our fans. I love that we love sport. The way our team can make us feel ecstatic or distraught. I love our language. Love the phrase, a technicolor yawn. I love that we can all lay claim to banjo, hoags and dawn. I love how we have different ways to spread our Vegemite. I love the way that none of us gives up without a fight. And that to me is why this place, Australia, is so great, and why we have so many things that we can celebrate. We may have natural beauty that extends from coast to coast, but Aussies are the things about this place I love the most. Happy Australia Day, everyone. Speaking of that Australian spirit and our love of sport, I'd like to introduce our ambassador for the day. Now, Peter Hadfield is a crazy individual. Of all the sports you could choose to compete in, he chose to compete in what I think is the hardest single sport to compete in, because this single sport is decathlon, which isn't a single sport, it's 10 sports at the Olympic level. Now, for most people, just being able to compete at an Olympic level in one sport is an incredible achievement. To be able to be there in 10 sports, I'm absolutely blown away. Peter represented Australia at 2 Olympics, at Montreal and at Los Angeles. He also competed in 2 Commonwealth Games for Australia, back in 82 in Brisbane, in 1978 in Edmonton. Now in Edmonton he came second in the decathlon, and in first place was the world record holder Daley Thompson, so it's not a bad person to come second too. He was the Australian champion from 1976, the Australian champion in the sport of decathlon for 10 consecutive years. So quite an incredible competition resume, but then of course he's gone on further from that, and he's been a commentator with ABC, and he's called 7 Olympic Games and 7 Commonwealth Games. And of course, further to that, he's also written a book on how to get fit while watching TV, which is a fascinating idea, and I love the idea of that. So I'm going to actually get his book after today and have a read to how to stay fit while I'm watching TV. Please help me welcome our ambassador for the day, Mr. Peter Hadfield OAM.
Thanks, Matthew, and good morning. Happy Australia Day to everybody. It's quite interesting. I had a very unusual start to Australia Day this morning. Marilyn and I are staying out at the Western Plains Zoo, and I watched the sun rise up and with giraffes in the foreground. So not the most Australian of normal views, but one that was absolutely beautiful. I'd like to, before I start, acknowledge and pay my respects to the Aboriginal elders on this beautiful land on which we're holding this ceremony this morning. And just thinking how lucky we are to be in such a beautiful place, in such a beautiful morning, with such wonderful freedoms as we all do have in Australia. Before I start, I should explain what the decathlon is all about, because I'm sure nobody in the audience really knows what it's about. As Matthew said, it's 10 different athletic events. We used to do the 100 metres, the long jump, shot put, high jump, 400 metres, get a night's rest, go out the next morning and do the 110 metre high hurdles, and then the discus and pole vault, the javelin and the 1500 metres. So it used to keep me out of trouble on weekends when I was competing. And as Matthew also mentioned, I was the Australian champion for 10 years. And again, don't feel embarrassed if you don't know who I am or not, don't recognise me, because I didn't even get a results column in the Daily Telegraph in my 10th championship. And one of the things that probably is the biggest disappointment of my athletic career is that I was never once asked for an autograph in that 10 years of being number one in Australia, until I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard the day after the Olympic competition, and I was just wearing a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and thongs, nothing that tied me in with the Australian Olympic team. And this young girl came racing across the other side of Hollywood Boulevard with this beautifully leather-bound autograph book in her hand, and was screaming out, "Stop, stop, please, can I get your autograph?" And I was most taken aback. I thought she was taking particular attention to the decathlon competition. And I still remember her name. It was Louise, which is now 32 years ago, which is a bit scary. And so I thought my very first autograph, I better make this a good one. So I had to Louise, best wishes. And then she said to me, "I thought you were fantastic in the Superman movie." And how great it was that I defeated Lex Luthor in Superman 1, and my acting ability got better in subsequent Superman movies. So I didn't have the heart to disappoint. So my one and only autograph in my entire athletic career was "To Louise, best wishes," and I signed it Christopher Reeve, and I gave it back to her. So, but it is an absolute pleasure to be here in Dubbo on Australia Day. I was actually here in 2000 when the Olympic torch relay arrived as well, and Marilyn, my wife, has a twin sister in Mudgee, so we've been up to Dubbo a few times before. But on a day like today, in a beautiful park like this with a wonderful audience, it is a pleasure to be here on Australia Day. And for my part, what I like to do on Australia Day is really reflect on just how lucky and how fortunate, but how hard-working we are to make sure that we keep that lucky country lucky. And it doesn't matter whether you're on the land or you're working in public service on the council. If you're a stay-at-home mum with the most important job in the world in looking after our children and the future of Australia. But we all have a very important role to play in making sure that not only Australia, but in particular the community of Dubbo can prosper and be even better than it is now. And that's one of the things that I did as an athlete. I didn't necessarily look to winning the medals and look to being the best as far as beating people. My aim always as an athlete was to create a personal best, so be the best athlete that I could be. And sometimes, to be able to do that, I was training 30 or 40 hours a week in addition to being a full-time school teacher. There was no such thing as paid athletes in my day, so we had to work full-time, and I was putting in 30 or 40 hours a week of training. Now I know, everybody, when they're working, puts in at least 30 or 40 hours a week, particularly if you're working on the land here. But it was a thing that every time I did a training session, I made sure it was the best training session that I could do. Every time I was in the weights room, it was the best training session that I could do in the weights room. And I planned out how I could constantly keep improving all the time. And I think that's one of the things that we should all be looking to and thinking about on Australia Day. One, reflecting on just how great this place is and how lucky we are to live in a wonderful place like this. And look at the people around here in the park and the wonderful jobs that they do. So you look at community groups like the Dubbo band here that's entertaining us, and you look at the wonderful people from Rotary that are providing us with a free breakfast, and you look at all of the other service groups, and I'm sure we'll hear some wonderful things from the people that have been nominated for the Citizenship Awards and also for the Cultural and Sporting Awards. So we do have a lot of people that do some wonderful work, and I'm sure that if we all thought about it, we can still do a little better. We can always improve. And I think what I'd like everybody to reflect on Australia Day is what can I do over this next 12 months that can make my life better, but also make the community's life better. What can I give back if I to help the community and help Australia? And we all are a nation of givers. We all like to have a go. We all like to work hard. And I think that it's a time on Australia Day to reflect, one, how great we do have it here, and secondly, what can we do now in the future to make it an even better place. I would like to thank the council and certainly thank the Australia Day Committee for the wonderful work that they've done in putting today together. The hospitality that Marilyn and I have received so far has been amazing, and we're getting the opportunity to stay up for another full day. Thanks to the council, and thanks to Western Plains Zoo for putting us up. That's been a magnificent opportunity and a wonderful experience. And I'd like to congratulate in advance all of those people that have been nominated and will be winning awards today. And more importantly, I'd also like to join Matthew in welcoming all of those people who have decided to become Australian citizens today. So have a wonderful day today. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Enjoy what it is to be Australian, and just think about, what can I do over the next 12 months to even make this a more wonderful place than it is. So happy Australia Day. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And in recognition of not only being a wonderful ambassador, but also the longest serving. This is Peter's 21st job as an ambassador in this nation, so officially the longest serving ambassador in the nation. We're very lucky to have him this year. I'd like to give you the ambassador pin, and you've got 21 of those now, and the hamper from Dubbo, you've only got one of those. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Susan. I did mention earlier that this is a new award and certainly a reflection on the way Dubbo is changing. So the inaugural winner of the 2016 Cultural Person of the Year Award goes to Mr. Olaf Wayland. Congratulations.
Are you right to stay down there?
Thank you all very much. This is given to me on behalf of quite a large community in Dubbo who are involved with the arts, and the people that have put me up to this is sort of mates rates, and they are themselves well in order to, they should be getting this same award to them, and because they have played a very large role in the arts scene in Dubbo, and I'm only very happy to be able to have played a minor part in it. But thank you very much indeed for this.
Thank you, Susan. It gives me a huge amount of pleasure to declare the 2016 Service to Sports Award winner is Albie Mastelotto. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Rana Spurs Football Club for nominating me. Dubbo Football Association for giving me the opportunity to coach Western Branch, and my wife putting up with coming home at late hours, making sure I had dinner on the table. And as far as coaching goes, I'd like to dedicate this to my son, who passed away 10 years ago. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got into coaching. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Abby. You just want to hang around there for the photo later? You just want to wait round the back?
Thank you, Susan. The Young Sportsperson of the Year for 2016 is Jono Davis.
Unfortunately, Jono is actually away competing today, so Mr. J. Porter from Sporties Club Dubbo will come up and accept this award on Jono's behalf.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be able to accept this award on behalf of Jono today. Jono obviously, unfortunately, couldn't be with us. He's on the Gold Coast at a Junior Australian Bowls camp. So he wanted me to pass on. He's very pleased and proud to receive this award today, and thank everybody involved. Thank you.
Did you just want to stand up?
Thank you again, Susan. The Sportsperson of the Year in Dubbo for 2016 is Mr. Samuel Mould. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much to Jeff Mann and the Dubbo City Council for this award. It's an extreme honour. Growing up in Dubbo, one thing I remember from being at school is just the high level of sport across all sports in Dubbo, whether it's playing soccer in the hall or basketball at lunch, footy after school. You always knew that you weren't going to be the best. So it's a credit to the town to have such a good sporting influence, and to get this award from playing hockey is just a great honour. So thank you very much, everyone. And I'd like to dedicate this award especially to my mum. She's travelled around and given up a lot of her time, so without all your sacrifices and lending me money whenever I need it to go away. So I dedicate this to you, Mum, and the rest of my family, so thank you very much.
You'd like to...
Thank you, Susan. The Young Citizen of the Year for Dubbo in 2016 is Mr. Michael Jeffrey. Congratulations, Michael. Thank you, Susan. Our Citizen of the Year for Dubbo in 2016 is Mr. Jack Anderson. Congratulations, Jack.
Good morning, friends and fellow citizens. I thank the Council, the Selection Committee, my wife Julie, who does everything she can to support me, my son David, who wrote this submission, my church family and friends, whom I can rely on all the time. In conclusion, a phrase which means nothing to someone who's got a captive audience, I would say, volunteer if you can. You will enjoy it, and you will meet many great people. Enjoy the rest of Australia Day. Thank you.
Congratulations to Dubbo's 2016, excuse me, Jack, we might need you back here for a photo in a minute. Congratulations to Dubbo's 2016 Australia Day Award winners. It is an honour and a pleasure to have you here today. I would also now like to take this opportunity to acknowledge a local person who has been announced in the National Australia Day Awards. This person has been recognised as making outstanding achievements throughout our community. So if he's here today, Mr. Mark Powderly congratulations, he received the Emergency Services Medal in the Australia Day Awards, National Awards today. Congratulations. We're now going to do a quick photo op and cut the Australia Day cake with the award recipients, the Ambassador and the Mayor. I would now like to invite those that are here to become Australian citizens to make their way forward to the stage area for the ceremony, which will be conducted by the Mayor, Councillor Matthew Dickerson. So those that are becoming natural Australian citizens, if you'd like to come forward to these microphones, please.
Thank you, Susan. And this is certainly an exciting part. In fact, when I took over being Mayor from our former Mayor, Alan Smith, I had some instructions about some of the things that I needed to do in the role of Mayor, but I didn't actually know I got to do the exciting job of being the final step in the process of making people become Aussies. And it's a long process they go through, but this final step is very exciting for me to be a part of that process, and it's fantastic to see so many people who want to come to Australia for a start, and then obviously because of the great council we have, they want to come to Dubbo as well. So can I have Jogi Babia, James Babia and Janelle Babia, please? Francisca Celadon Pena, Nerv Yan Hanna, Clarice Hanna and Julie Hanna. And you're about to become Aussie, so get closer together so you can all fit there. Could I have Gemma Horn, please? Sergio Maloney, Fatima Mahfuz, Loveness Mushaninga, Susan Spicer, Dorothy Villa and Waver, Wei T. Shi, Alberto and Charity and Yana Mendoza. Thank you. So as I say, come closer together so everyone can hear. So you just have to repeat each line after me. From this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Congratulations, we now have 17 new Aussies. Well done. And I'll just ask you to stand aside while we do the other 7, and then we'll go along and give you some incredibly important presents. Could I have these 7 come forward, please? Danuli Kamala Dasa, Kanishka Kamalan Dasa, and Yasif Kamalan Dasa. Did I even go close to getting that right? Yeah, good. Birgit Newman, Na Sun, and Yeon Jin, and Harshinda Maraha. Okay, you've got a smaller group, so you have to come forward so we get the same volume as that last 17. Okay, please repeat after me. From this time forward. No, sorry. You have to be better than that. You have to be louder than that. Okay, you've got to really mean it. From this time forward.
From this time forward.
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people.
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people.
Whose democratic beliefs I share.
Whose democratic beliefs I share.
Whose rights and liberties I respect.
Whose rights and liberties I respect.
And whose laws I will uphold and obey.
And whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Congratulations, 7 more Aussies. And of course, now with the 24 new Aussies, if I can ask everyone in the audience to join with me in the traditional welcome. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Congratulations. We'll now go along and give them some Vegemite, some koalas, some Dubbo stickers. I'll ask Mr. Peter Hadfield, our ambassador, to come and help us. And we've also got a group of councillors that I'd also ask to come along and congratulate our new citizens. And just enjoy while they're receiving their various presents there. Enjoy thinking about the steps that these people have gone through to come and join all of us in this absolutely wonderful nation. Have a great Australia Day, everyone. Thank you for a huge audience, the biggest audience I've ever seen being part of Australia Day. Thank you for your participation and thank you for being part of it. And as I say, have a great day and just keep thinking about what an absolutely wonderful nation we have and how lucky we're all here to be a part of this. Thank you.
Girl looking for a